celebrate ourselves in the southern part of the Badlands of North Dakota. Like I said, we got an archery mule deer tag in our pocket. Weather looks really good. It's going to be warmer than average, but I think that'll help to our advantage because it is supposed to get windy here the next couple days, and some archers may not be a big fan of the wind. I am for spot and stock purposes, so the game plan is we're going to get to camp, get the trailer unhooked, get everything set up. We've got the vast majority of the day ahead of us. It's 8:30 right now. We'll gain an hour mountain time. Get the camp set up, shoot the bow, make sure everything's still dialed in and ready to roll for the week, and then hopefully get some boots laced up and get a few miles on the boots this afternoon and get to a glassing point. And if we're lucky enough, maybe get a stalking yet this evening. Best case scenario, at least put a few deer in the binos, get a game plan for tomorrow morning, and we've got 2 full days ahead of us. Well, we officially have base camp all set up. It's not even quite noon yet, so we have plenty of time to charge batteries, grab a bite to eat, shoot the bow, and go out for the evening. Give you a quick little tour of camp here. We've got our archery box back in the corner, little propane fireplace for a nice little evening bonfire this evening, and then of course we're going to take you through a quick little tour of the Junior. So we've got the dinette table back here. Great place to do a little reading tonight, little video editing and photo edits. Got plenty of storage. Got the shaving kit, obviously non-essential hunting clothes. All our hunting clothes tucked away. The cot set up for myself. And then we've got everything else up here ready to roll. We've got the coffee pot, got the cooking utensils, we got bananas, all kinds of snacks. Main thing is you never want to go hungry, and when you've got a base camp like this, there's no excuse not to pack. So we are set, we are ready to roll. We're going to make a quick bite to eat. We're going to shoot the bow, and hopefully the next time we talk to you, we'll have our sights set on a muley, so stay tuned. Well, here we are, it's 3 o'clock, first afternoon. Kind of just getting our feet wet out here in the Badlands, and I tell you what, it's some beautiful country. It's a little on the hot side today. I think it's like 75 right now. Sunny. So what we're gonna do, it's a little tough to glass, but like I said, we're 3 hours from the sunset. So we got a pretty good vantage point here. We're gonna hunker in. We got the tripod set up with the spotter. We're just gonna keep glassing. We're looking into all the timbered, shaded areas in hopes we can pick a buck out of there. But if we can't, hopefully as the sun starts to sink below the horizon and that impending rain that's coming in gets those bucks on their feet a little bit early, and who knows, if it came together, maybe we could get a stalk tonight, and if not, best case is find a deer for tomorrow, put him to bed, come back, find him, make a stalk tomorrow. But beautiful country, doesn't get much better than this. It is safe to say the cold front is here. The wind just picked up about 30, 40 miles an hour. Rain's talking in. But you know what? That's what we need to get the deer moving, because it was just sweltering hot. So we're gonna stick it out here. We got about an hour and a half till sundown. As long as we don't get rained out, we're gonna stay in. See if this gets anything on their feet, but it's windy and cold. I bet the temp dropped 25 degrees in the last 10 minutes. Pretty cool out here. Well, we stuck her out here. We've been glassing in this particular area for about 2.5 to 3 hours. We haven't turned up anything. Obviously the wind is here, cold front's here, so I thought something might be moving, but we've got another band of rain behind me coming in. And we got about an hour till sunset, so we're gonna slowly work our way back to the vehicle, see if we don't see something along the way, and if we got a little time, we're gonna do a quick drive around this quadrant here and just see to make sure there's no one else hunting it, kind of what the pressure looks like, and maybe make a game plan for tomorrow morning. But it's a really good looking area. I know it was super hot today, so that could be why nothing has shown itself tonight, but irregardless, it's gonna get a little wet back there, so we're gonna slowly work our way back and see what we see. Day 2, here we are. It was a beautiful evening last night. We got some amazing star photos, and I tell you what, we had a nice meal last night. Got up this morning here a little bit before 5 o'clock and made a pot of coffee. Definitely hits the spot on a cooler North Dakota morning. Had a little breakfast, made our lunch for the afternoon, and we had the furnace running all night, and it kept us very steadily at 68 degrees, which is very comfortable. It kept all of our stuff dry, or I should say got all of our stuff dry from the rain last night, and made for a very enjoyable morning to wake up, make a pot of coffee. You're not freezing like you would be in a tent. I have no complaints. I wish every camping outing was as luxurious as this. And just for proof as in the pudding, I'll give you a quick little, 68 degrees. Tough to beat that. But anyways, we got a little over an hour till first light, so we're gonna go get in the vehicle, drive over to our spot and do our short little hike in and glass this morning. It is super windy out there. I think gusts are over 40, so good for us to be able to get in and not be heard, but hopefully it doesn't prevent the deer from getting on their feet. It's definitely cooler than it was yesterday, so that's a plus. Wind is supposed to subside throughout the late afternoon, early evening, and then be completely calm tomorrow. So all that being said, Lady Luck, hopefully you're on our side, and day 2, here we go.
Sheltered over here. There's a lot of fast country, and when you're solo hunting like I am this week, trying to find a million, thousands of acres of grasslands in front of you by yourself, what's that eyes? Not necessarily the easiest of things to do. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but here it goes. You gotta do it. Well, that was exciting. We just saw about 8 or 9 does come up out of a draw, about 1,000 yards away. So there's deer in here. That's good that they didn't get wiped out in this area from the winter last year. No bucks yet, but we'll sit here for another hour or two and just keep picking it apart. This weather change, I think, really is going to get them on their feet. See some antelope. It's pretty cool.
Anyone else grab their sandwich and always say, you know what, that's gonna last me till lunch today? No, never happens when you're on a hunt, especially when it's elk from this last year. Jalapeno elk summer sausage, to die for. Definitely did not make it to lunch. Apparently you just need to come to town to get a lighter to see deer because, yeah, a couple does just walking down Main Street here, no big deal. See if we can get a close-up for you of them. Well, we are set for the next couple nights of camp. Sun just came out, we're just pulling out of town. Got a lighter, means we can do some cooking on the stovetop. Plan is, we're gonna stick south of town right now and found a couple areas this morning that look pretty promising, so we're gonna hike in there this evening and sit down and glass them again in the morning. And if we don't turn up anything worthy by morning, we're gonna keep camp where it is, but we've got a couple other spots about 30 miles away that we're gonna bomb over to really quick and check out. I've got a couple waypoints over there. But sun's shining, wind's dying down, we got a lighter, life is good. It's an adventure. We're just holding out of town and we've got 5 hours till sunset, so we're gonna load up on our snacks here, jam out to a little music, and go get a mule deer.
The sun came out, the wind died down. We're about a mile and a half in from where we parked the truck, and not even close to where I wanted to be, but we stopped for a quick little break and peeped over the hill here, and I think after 7 years in the Badlands, I have officially found my favorite glassing point ever. I'm calling this point Vista. The view here is phenomenal. We saw about 10 deer right away. I couldn't tell one looked like a buck. About 1,800 yards away. There's another trail that forks off here that I kind of want to peek over to, but I think we need to look at this before dark. Best case scenario in a spot like this, it's so fast as we find it here that we think it's a shooter. Hike back in at dark tomorrow, come back and see if we can't turn it back up. Or if a stroke of luck, maybe something pops up within range, but this view is unreal. Holy crap, that got exciting really quick. I was walking this ridge line here, we're tucking in between the junipers, and I noticed something shining down there, and it was about 350 yards away. Turns out it was a forked horn muley. No giant by any standards, but definitely a legal buck for me. And the fact that I have never shot one with my bow, that was to kind of pass up the opportunity to make a stalk. Wind wasn't ideal, and we've got 2 hours till sunset, so I thought I'd make a play and got within sub 100, had an arrow knocked, adrenaline running, and there was another buck with him that I didn't know was there that saw me before I got to the one I originally saw. And they blew out a couple drainages down, so I'm gonna grab a drink of water, pack the bag up, and keep working down this ridgeline and see if we can't glass another one up. That was exciting. That's why we do this. I'm sweating, I'm thirsty, and I'm happy. Shooter spotted. We've got about an hour till dark, so we're just gonna hunker in here. See what he looks like. He looks like a decent 4x from about 1,000 yards. some up and make up stock. But as we're walking out, we actually spotted a decent buck, so that's a good sign. What a beautiful day. I saw a lot of deer, saw some antelope, put a stock on a forked horn, and then right at last night saw a good shooter. I'm a little winded from the hiking today. Sunset was absolutely phenomenal. And I tell you what, this is why we do this. Just because you come back with a full quiver of arrows doesn't mean the day wasn't a success. The day was a success because from sun up till sundown, we were in the great outdoors. We were chasing not only muleys in the Badlands of North Dakota, but chasing away the cares of everyday life. Hunting is a journey. Mule deer are resilient. If you're going to be a mule deer hunter, specifically with a bow and arrow, you better be ready to be patient, to have your butt kicked by stalks blowing, by deer you didn't see, wind in your face, anything Mother Nature can throw at you. It's a ride. There's no other way to do it though. One day, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, I will connect everyone with my bow. But till then, it just keeps me pushing harder and harder and harder. Sometimes you just gotta be patient and let your binos do the work. Sometimes you gotta push through adverse conditions and get in close before you see them. And today, for whatever reason, I turned around and decided to go over one little last ridge, even though I've looked at the spot a million times today to no avail. Last time, right before I decided to call it for the night and I walked back to the truck with decent light, I saw a butt and I'm like, yep, that's a deer. I didn't see any others around it and I'm like, it's gotta be a buck. So for about the 40th time today, I pulled out the spotter and finally I wasn't fooled by a bush, a doe, but it was a buck, and a good buck. He was about 1,035 yards away, so we marked the spot on Onyx. We've got about 4 glass in points along the way. Red skies at night, sailor's delight, bow hunter's delight tonight. We're gonna come back in the morning, get our steps right back in, get there at daylight. It's not supposed to be as windy. Let's put some eyes on them and put down a deer tomorrow. What a great day. Couldn't ask for anything better than this.
We are very fortunate tonight that we're able to enjoy some elk at deer camp. This last year our families were very fortunate to harvest a few elk and still have a little bit left over, and I can't think of a better way to top off an amazing day in the backcountry and enjoying some wild venison. So we're gonna go out to the cooler, grab our elk sausage and get that going on here and have a nice hearty warm meal this evening.
this morning was a porcupine, some crows, a chipmunk, and a lot of magpies.
Well, this spot right here is a very special place. It's near and dear to my heart. It is one of the first places I ever came out here with my buddy Brett, trouncing around the first time we had a bow and arrow chase of muleys. Then a few weeks later I came back out on a solo hunt by myself and camped right near here. And my fiance Gwen shot her North Dakota once in a lifetime elk in this canyon. My dad shot a mule deer, and I've spent many times in this canyon. I mean, it's about 3 miles long. There's lots of draws to it, and every time I come in here you see some sort of wildlife. Plenty of elk, plenty of muleys. We saw some bighorn sheep just probably about 1.5 miles away from here. The thing I like about this spot is it's not too far off the road, but yet it's secluded. And to get to the far back, you really do have to hike a little ways, and there is some good country back there. It's sheltered. It's got some wallows. It's got some spring-fed creeks in there. Like I said, shelter on sunny days like this, and then it opens up, and then there's another spot on the back side of it that you can glass for miles. Something had just been calling me to this spot. I've got a kind of a butterfly feeling in my stomach, so hopefully that's a good sign of something to come yet this evening here. We're gonna glass a little bit more and then come around the south edge of the rim. There's a 2-track trail that comes in that's not motorized, and we're gonna hike that in, put the sun at our back, put the wind in our face, and just work those cliff edges. There's some great spots where we could glass up a mule deer and maybe make a stalk on them. So this is probably by far my favorite place in the whole Badlands of North Dakota. It's something special about when you make a lot of memories in one great spot, and hopefully many more to come.
She went down the canyon before I could get the camera out. But luckily, we just sat here and I literally just heard a bull bugle. It would be sweet if we could see him. That's my first Badlands bull bugle. I've seen bulls out here, but I've never heard one bugle. That was so cool. This is gonna be fun. I don't care who you are. Once you've been out hunting, you can turn a mule deer down real quick when you get close to these guys. This should be fun. There's a pretty nice bull 300 yards from us. So cool to see. I knew I heard a bugle. This is where Gwen killed her cow elk 4 years ago, right before Christmas, so definitely an elky area. You know what, at moments like this, it doesn't matter about a mule deer because this is so freaking cool to see. Remember how I told you I had this feeling in my stomach, some butterflies? Well, all the memories in this canyon. This is the living proof of that. This is why we hunt. It's not because of the kill. It's everything that comes into this whole hunt that makes it what it is. And this is probably one of the most special memories for me, as this is exactly where my fiance 4 years ago shot her North Dakota elk. It was right across this canyon, about 317 yards. This is where we were benched in. And where I'm sitting is about 40 yards from where she shot her elk. And now here I am glassing out 4 years later. A beautiful bull. I may be mule deer hunting, but my heart is with elk. And I have a hard time wanting to not just sit here and watch this, because at this moment, these elk don't know I'm here and all is well. amazing about watching these creatures in their natural habitat. It's truly amazing.
Well, don't have much battery life left, so I figured I'd whip out a quick recap of the night. Wasn't a lot of mule deer hunting, but coolest thing ever. Sat on those elk for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just sat there and watched them in their natural habitat. And lo and behold, they started feeding up towards the trail I came in on. So I had to go back towards them to get to the pickup, and I took my sweet time. And of course the wind was absolutely in my favor. So I tried to get a couple pictures, but the coolest thing is I got within 65 yards of that big bull. I could have pulled back and shot him with my bow. He was way within bow range. I was shaking even though I don't have an elk tag with the camera. It was un-freaking real. That's why we do this. That is what makes the outdoors so flippin' amazing. Nothing beats getting that close to wild animals that have no clue you're there. Finally, right at dark, they kind of picked up my movement. I had to get back to the pickup anyways. They couldn't smell me though, so they didn't know what I was. But that right there, when you're a hunter, it doesn't matter about shooting something at the end of the day. It's about experiences like that. And same thing goes for fishing for me. It's not about how many fish you put in the live well, how many fillets you have. It's about time spent on the water, time spent on the hillside. And I told you I was coming out here to totally decompress, get my mental clarity back, get my creativity back. And those 2 hours right there gave me all of that and more than I could ask for. I did stumble into a little piece of prickly cactus on the hike back, but totally worth it for that experience. I don't know if I'll ever get that close to that big of a bull elk with a bow again, at least not in North Dakota. That was unbelievable. And I got tomorrow morning to glass something up, so it'd be a miracle. But if the hunt were to end right now, I'm happy with how it went.